Alright guys, we are here at the Crowley City Hall. They are conducting what they call court today. Michelle, how's it going? Hey Rika, we're just lurking. I pretty much know what's gonna go down as far as how they're gonna react. I won't be able to talk for a second, so you guys just bear with me.
Please come here, sir. I want you to read something real quick, please.
You can read it right here.
I can tell you, sir, if you don't want to read it, but you can read it. You can't film in the building at all today.
According to
the federal voting law,
the federal,
you got to be 100 feet away from the
federal what law?
Come on, I'll let you read it. Come on.
No, thank you.
You can bring it out to him. I'm his lawyer. Go ahead.
But no, I'm not going to bring it. Can you take it down for me?
Yeah, bring it to us.
Are you a lawyer, sir?
I am.
Okay. So you're holding yourself out as a lawyer? Are you bar in State Bar, Texas?
It's only because we're holding an election right now. You can't videotape 100 feet within the election machines. It's not because you can't videotape in a municipal building, it's just because you can't videotape during an election. That's it. Now, what they do in the courtroom, I don't know. But what their rules are, that would be with Officer Haig. But because
So I'm
the
trained in these
election,
matters. You mind if I take a look at it?
you certainly
Sure
can.
thing. So this is according to section 33.051 and multiple others of the Texas Election Code.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so have you got any kind of evidence that such a code would apply to us?
Oh my gosh, are you serious? I have an election machine inside
I'm not joking.
of the inside my election room. Would you like to
Okay.
come in and view it? You're more than
No,
welcome
that's
to.
because the election machine isn't going to be any kind of evidence that links this code to us. Now, if you've got
What do you mean it
documentation,
doesn't link the code to you? You cannot videotape 100 feet by state of Texas election code laws. You cannot videotape 100 feet.
That's your judge.
you're acting as if we're attempting to videotape voters and influence their vote.
Sir, you're not allowed to have videotapes anywhere near the voting.
I'm just going to be able to address one person at a time. So is it going to be you or you?
Okay, this is the election.
No,
judge.
now
Go
it's
ahead
in
and
third.
address it.
Okay, so this is obviously trying to go against people who are trying to influence voting machines, election processes, and sway the votes of voters. We're not doing any of that. We're here for court. So you can.
Videotape. I'm sorry, but you cannot.
Okay, well, you understand, I'm not gonna stop because of your opinion, just like I wouldn't expect you to do something based on my
It's
opinion.
a,
Right. Yeah.
Aaron, there's you can
Now,
actually.
if you bother not cut me off,
arrest
if you
him,
hear
I
me,
believe.
if you hear me out, are you trying to get a man to threaten you with violence? Is that what you're doing? What's your name?
Carol, I'm
What's your-
city secretary.
That's okay. City secretary,
Yes.
okay, who's your manager or supervisor?
The city manager.
Okay, now you are calling upon a man with a badge and a gun to threaten me with violence, to remove me from the
I
room?
don't believe I threatened you with violence at all.
He's got a gun and a taser and mace and all kinds of stuff, and you're saying that's not violence? This is a public space,
I
and I
don't
want
believe
to,
that that's violence at all.
I don't want to interrupt anybody. I want to have civil discourse and not argue, okay? Let's be peaceful and not argue. Let's not do that.
I'm
All
not.
all I'm saying
As
is,
someone who's gonna have to stand up, I don't wanna be filmed while
then we won't film you.
I am having
We
my,
won't film you.
Okay,
We'll
I
be
mean-
happy to point it at the ground and do audio only. This isn't about embarrassing anyone
You don't
or
need to have it
violating
in here.
anyone's
I
rights.
will,
Okay, just so you know.
I don't want that though.
We're not going to use it or post it. We're not here for you or any of that. We're here for them. I promise we're for you. If you want your privacy respected, you can trust
Sir, I
I'll do
need
that
to
for you.
ask you to leave. You're not allowed to have that in
Okay,
here.
but until you give me something written down that has legitimate authority on it, I'm not going to read your opinion. All due respect. All due respect, ma'am.
It's okay, Ms. Teresa. The police are gonna.
Thank you.
We've done our part.
You know, if everyone else had this kind of courage, you wouldn't have to pay these kind of nonsense fines for non-violent victimless criminal charges. This is silly. You don't owe them anything. Am I wrong? How many of you have actually hurt somebody and that's why you're here? Am I wrong? You think this is easy? You think I like doing this? This is embarrassing. I have to because they're getting away with this type of thing. And I'm not gonna violate anybody's privacy, I promise you. So,
We still gotta follow the laws of the land, man.
you don't.
We do.
Well, if you believe you do, then you're correct. I won't go against that. You believe you do, and so you will. Just because you've done that your whole life doesn't mean you have to do it tomorrow. How do you think I came to do this? Because I get away with not having to obey
read the
the law.
Bible.
I'm sorry?
Apparently you don't read the Bible.
I rely on factual evidence to draw my conclusions from.
That's ridiculous.
See, their statutes and codes are their Bible. This isn't a state, it's a religion. They have their holy books, they have their...
Hey guys, the police are on their way. If you guys want to call up the Crowley City Hall,
Call cops, you think
they,
I'm afraid? No.
they are threatening us.
Why? Because of that success. How? Because they're wrong. Just because you believe something your whole life doesn't mean it's that way. That's all it is.
Yeah, they made it out to be some kind of voting machine thing. We were at Crowley City Hall.
We're here doing nothing destructive. We were here to sit in peace and quiet and not say a thing. They come over to us, keep harassing us. I can't even speak to them without them interrupting me. You know why? Because they know I'm right. I have to.
Sir, y'all do what you want to do.
I'm just saying, I'm
If you're in violation of law, when the officers get here, then they'll handle it, whatever they need to do, okay? I've tried to be very nice, even showed you the law, and you wanna argue.
I don't want to argue.
I'm done arguing with you.
I don't want to argue either.
Also, by the way, in a court of law, did I ask you for your bar license?
I never claimed I was a bar member.
Well,
Why would I
actually,
ever sign something as disgusting as agreement to a bar membership?
I have no idea what I discussed.
The only reason why they do that is so they can allow themselves to be coerced in order to keep their job, pay out their student loans. Why would I ever sign?
But yeah, guys, they have called the local police on us for no reason. We were at Crowley City Hall.
Well, you do know.
Crowley City Hall, Crowley, Texas.
See,
All cell phones turned off, all electronic
okay,
devices
but
off.
do you think I'm just gonna buy that because you printed it out on a piece of paper and put it on a little wooden platform? That's your opinion.
Well,
If you're so
I
right.
was hoping that you would go by the rules of the court, because the judge sets them. And that's her
That's not,
rules
she's a
and her
lawyer.
court.
You realize that she's a part-time lawyer. That's not even a legitimate judge. This
Oh.
isn't even a real courtroom.
Darla Peavy is a lawyer that practices law in Crowley that they hire in every Tuesday to come here and coerce you guys to pay money.
So she calls herself that? Oh, because she has training?
She is actually licensed and trained
Okay.
by the state of Texas.
Is she bonded?
She goes to training and is licensed by them to be a municipal judge, okay?
Is she
Do
bonded?
I expect you to just believe my opinions and then act according to my opinions, yes or no?
Opinions, no, but law, do it. If you come in here with law,
Okay.
and I'll say, yes, sir, that's great, you're right, you got the law.
So you're,
I
okay, so,
have to go by the law, and so should you, but I mean, that's your choice. I can't
Okay.
make you go by law, can I?
I would like to be able to finish a sentence. Would that be okay?
Oh, sure, go
Okay.
ahead.
So I'm more than happy to do what you want me to do if you can show it on paper. Now, when you say, you just said the law to me multiple times, right? So I look into what does that word mean, right? There are no rules written anywhere by any legislative body, top to bottom in this country, that call itself a law. There's no US law 46.1 subparagraph B, section 2. It doesn't exist. You know what does exist? Statutes and codes. The word law is just some really vague, big umbrella word that all of these other things fall under, so they can say, you gotta obey the rules, otherwise we'll get the people with guns
Oh,
involved.
okay, but basically, we're splitting hairs on.
We're not
how-
splitting hairs, and it's not
how
some,
saying
I'm
something.
looking at the evidence on paper, sir,
Okay, sir.
and you're smiling and walking away from me. Why is that?
Because I'm done.
Why
I
are
tried
you
to be
done?
nice to you, I tried to explain to you,
You
so
are being
whatever
nice.
happens today happens, okay?
You're okay, so why are you disengaging? You said you wanted to talk, but as soon as I start spitting truth, you know you can't stand it, and then you walk away? It's a statute and a code, and it doesn't apply to anybody. Oh, don't mess with them. They don't get that it's a might makes right world. They care about ethics.
Yeah, you guys, we're at Crowley City Hall, guys. So,
Get out, and that this applies to me because of reason X, I will leave right now. If you're right, then you should have that.
We just showed it to you.
You showed me a piece of paper with a code, and then I asked her, okay, but I'm not going to believe a code unless you have evidence that, you know what they do? In military courts, they provide the evidence. In international courts, they provide the evidence because they care about jurisdiction. But this one doesn't. Why is that?
it's called a UCMJ.
It's a real thing. They deal with it. If it's so silly, why does the military deal with it?
I'm prior service. I know what a UCMJ is.
So am I. We're not doing this because it's fun or to be troublemakers or for the attention. We're certainly not doing it for money. You know?
We're doing it for transparency. If you guys don't have anything to hide, you guys shouldn't be scared of cameras, period.
People have a right to their privacy.
I'm not recording you, ma'am.
No one's recording you.
You're in public space.
Do y'all have like an online project or something? Like, I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, there's a YouTube
Like,
channel.
why Crowley of all places?
Well, we just happen to be
Because
close.
screw it.
No. because we
This is-
happen
this
to
is
be
not an
close
attack
because
on
we've
Crowley.
done it before, and they tried to use a law that said, oh yeah, it's Texas Penal Code 4205. We looked it up. It doesn't have anything to do with any of this.
He doesn't even know what
Shouting,
4205 says.
Yeah, he didn't even know. He just like, yeah, 4205. And if you just sit here in peace, we should be able to just make a recording of our own hearing. If they're not doing anything wrong, why would
So
they
you guys are
mind?
here for a case as well?
No, I'm here to defend others. I don't have any reason to be here other than that. Yeah, right, because I'm big virtue signaling, right? Risking prison over this, right? That's fun, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the sheeple, guys.
the
That's
difference
part of the
between
problem.
The younger generation and the older generation. The younger generation knows their whole life is ahead of them. They're open to new ideas, but the older one thinks, oh, I've been doing this my whole life, and if I shouldn't have had to do it my whole life, then it makes me a fool, so I'm not gonna believe it. I'm just gonna do whatever I've been doing. And inflict that on everyone else too. Nobody here has hurt anyone else. Has anyone committed any violence, and that's why you're here? Anyone facing any charges where they hurt somebody? No. Crazy me, I think you shouldn't have to pay these people money. You shouldn't even have to be here. They do curfews here, give me a break. Oh, you're just driving without our permission slip called a license, give me a break. You can't drive from point A to point B as an adult or a teen.
Oh man, you can't get through to them, man. Don't even try.
Not even. But y'all trying. That's
They're in here prosecuting 14-year-olds,
I feel you. 100%.
and they're terrified of cameras.
What's your name? Both of you? If you don't mind me asking?
You can look
Can
me
I
up
ask?
on YouTube. The channel's called Ethics Instead. Is there any way we should
Instead?
look- Instead, like, we should use
Okay.
ethics instead, yeah.
Not that fast. That's like,
Interesting. I can understand where you're coming from. I'm just a little like trying to get to work and stuff.
We're not holding up the hearing.
I hear you.
We're not the one holding up any hearing.
Huh?
We're not holding anything up for you.
No, I mean, it's a conflict for sure.
The only reason you're uncomfortable is because he's armed with a gun.
Yeah.
They really should allow us to audio record our own hearings, and they won't because they know that they're taking advantage of everybody and abusing their power left, right, and center. Because the law is nothing but the judge's opinion. You think it's what people write down, but it's not. It's how better the judge wants to act.
Haig, have you figured out what 4205 says yet?
Yes, sir. I know exactly what it says.
Can you even repeat it?
I've got a copy of it in my back pocket. I wonder why you're not using that today.
Yeah. Why didn't you mention that today, Haig? We are in the city of Crowley, guys. You guys make sure these guys know if anything funny happens.
Facebook Live.
Oh yeah.
Facebook? Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've done this, maybe dozens, and every single time I start talking to them and they realize, oh, I can't win this verbally and this guy can out lawyer speak me, they walk away. Every single time, judges too, a lot bigger courtrooms than this.
Actual judges, not lawyers that they hire in to come in on Tuesdays. Darla Peavy works right up the street, guys. She practiced family law. Yeah, Michael, I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, Dusty.
So their tactic was to pretend like we were here to interfere with an election.
Oh yeah. They try something new every time.
You can't mess with the court because we've got an election beef so close.
Oh, they tried. They even tried to corral you.
That's their best attempt. It obviously makes no logical whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this lady's not even bonded.
If they were right, they would just show us on paper where it's written down. They can't do it.
That's a EAA with me.
They've got scary words and scary weapons, and that's it. And if you call their bluff, they run. If there were real bad guys in here, people, men and women who have done harm to other people, I wouldn't be here. But not for this non-violent, victimless criminal charge nonsense.
What's going on, Val?
What's up? What do you got going on?
Another day, you know how it goes. Things treating you all right?
It'll be a lot better if I was left alone.
Fair enough. Well, I tell you what, you asked for it in writing, and here it is. It says in the election code that you cannot record audio or visually within 100 feet of a polling place. And since they're polling across the hall, you're well within 100 feet of it. I'll give you a copy of it. This copy is for you. You don't want it?
No, thank you. The only thing I'm interested in
Okay. Well, at this point in time, I'm going to ask you nicely to leave. If you refuse to do so, we will be forced to take action.
Are you going to use physical force to force me out of this building?
As I said, you are in violation of a statute, the election code, which I'm trying to hand you so you can read all you want.
So your position is because I'm physically here, that code and
Audio,
statute. Can you
video
please,
recording.
Can you please stop interrupting me?
Within 100 feet
Can you-
of a polling place,
Sir, show some mutual
that it's
respect.
not allowed by the election code. There are 3 different parts of the statute. I will give you a copy of it, and you're more than welcome to read it. The problem is that the election code says that you cannot because we have a polling place going on across the hall. Here is a copy of all of it. I will provide that with you. So I'm going to ask you nicely once again to go ahead and please leave the building because you can't do it within 100 feet, and this is well within 100 feet. So I will ask you nicely one last time. Please
Are you gonna
stand
allow-
up so we can walk out.
Are you going to allow me to rebut? Or are you
Sure.
going to allow me to speak without interrupting me this time?
Sure.
So your position right now is that because I'm physically here, that code and statute you just blurred out is applicable to me. Are you making that legal determination right now?
I make no legal determination.
Okay.
What I follow is the statute. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it okay for me to talk this time?
Well,
I talk now?
if you're not coming to a legal conclusion,
He's trying to hand you a copy of the legal conclusion right there, but you're refusing to comply.
Sir, you don't
At this point, you're trespassing, and you've been asked to leave, so that would be a charge going against you.
You don't know.
Everybody here that's sitting here waiting for this to go on.
hey, at least you got the sheeple with you, huh?
There's a difference between has a count against you.
What?
What's the difference between code and law enforcement? You don't even know, but you're thinking you're embarrassing
Oh,
yourself.
shit.
We're talking legally. You don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking.
So you're not making a legal conclusion, but you will.
I'm enforcing the statute.
Are
You're
you going to threaten violence, or are you going to ask him to leave?
I've already asked twice.
He's already asked you 3 times.
Excuse us.
And he's refused.
This will go quicker. This will go quicker if you just don't get involved.
This will go quicker if you leave as asked.
I'm trying to do this with a bunch of mutual respect, right?
Guys, I tell you what, please, if you'll give them an opportunity to talk so we can continue this discussion
Thank
like
you.
adults. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
So, I don't see how there's a refusal to leave because he's under no obligation. He's saying he's gonna decline to leave. Now, you can either, obviously, you can do what you want. You got the weapons and we don't. So ultimately, that's what's up. But we're not going to respond to requests to leave. Now, if you are gonna say, we are going to put physical hands on you, and we're going to put cuffs on you, take you down to the jail, all those charges, hand charges to the prosecution's office, and then try and get them to sell a jury on it when we plead not guilty. I mean, I suggest you call the prosecution's office before you take those actions.
See, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to.
Okay, thank you. Because they're probably gonna have a bit different story for you because they care about how this is gonna play out in court. And at your level, of course you don't care. You just paid to do a job, and if somebody says, get him out of here, you look bad unless you don't, which puts you in a real bad position. So all I'm saying is, you're saying my authority is a statute. Okay, that's fine. But we're not having anything to do with an election box, and you know it, and that jury is gonna know it. They're gonna know because we have nothing, we don't care about the election whatsoever, and there's walls there. We have
Federal
nothing
jury.
to do with voters or anything. Now, if you're gonna try to sell that to a jury, I suggest you go through the prosecutor's office first. Otherwise, if you arrest us and take us down there, you and them are gonna have this conversation and go, what are you doing?
In front of a
You're gonna
federal
expect me
jury.
to make this follow through? Because just trying to get us punitively isn't gonna work. What that's gonna result in is a lawsuit against risk management, a claim against the city, and then they're gonna have to pay out, which makes the insurance rates goes up for these legislators and judges here. And they don't like any of that. We've done this dozens of times before, we know what we're doing, we're part of a national organization, so we're not intimidated by, oh, we've got a statute. See, because ultimately, lastly, thank you for your time, lastly, ultimately, your statute, you're automatically assuming that it applies to him and I, but you have no paper to show us that says statutes apply to you or whoever because of reason X, because you don't have jurisdiction. Like in the military courts, they have signed documents for jurisdiction, but statutes and codes don't. They don't have any jurisdiction over anybody because it's not written down. It's just enforced by that gun on your hip. And that's really where we're coming from, man. It's just a might makes right world, and we're thinking, hey, these nonviolent victimless charges are no good. I respect you enough to be like, hey, I bet you'd be really good against actual bad guys. You want to be doing people who actually cause harm to others. I'm on that side. But when it's like, hey, your little teenager's out at 11 p.m., I'm going to charge you $250. There's no victim. There's no alleged difficult. It's just extortion via violence. So if you've got something, the paper that says the statute applies to him, we'll leave.
Is it my turn now?
Thank you for listening. Go ahead. I'll listen.
Not a problem. Here's the deal. I don't make legal determinations because I'm not a lawyer, okay? What I go by is the people that are voted in, that make the statutes for this state, say that we want these to be statutes. At which point in time, once I'm sworn in as a peace officer, it's to enforce the statutes. Whether I like them or not, whether I believe in them or not, I believe in enough that we have a process for a reason. As somebody that dealt with UCMJ as well, I'm fully aware of that side of the coin too. But here's where the kicker comes in. Because the people that were elected made the statute that said, during an election process, you are not allowed to visually or audio record within 100 feet of a polling place, which is what is right across the hall, well within 100 feet. It doesn't say if there are walls that separate you or if you're in a different part of the building. No, hold on. I gave you the time. Now I ask that you give it to me. You were about to.
But I didn't.
But you didn't. You are right.
All right.
So because I am charged with enforcing those, it is a Class C violation. It's something very simple, which is why we come and talk. I'd be more than happy to give you all the statutes and arm you with the information so that way you know exactly what it says, just like I do. But you guys are refusing to take the paperwork. I'll still give it to you. Would you like it?
I'll take it.
Sure. So now, having the information there and knowing that they have decided that it is a violation, whether you say it's victimless or not, because understand, everybody in this room that has been upset about it, or anybody that might have walked across the hall to vote that was upset that you were audio or visually recording, that's the victim at that point in time. So, and you can laugh and you can think it's funny. That's not here for me to debate with you. If there's an argument about it, I know you as well as you know this because I've listened to your show and I know some of the things that you've gone through in fighting the court system, right?
Oh, you tell me. I don't know you, but you know me. Okay, fair enough. I'm listening.
So I understand that you know as well as I do that this game isn't argued right here, okay? If you want to argue it, it's argued in the court.
See, it's argued in the court of public opinion right there.
That's cool. They can argue it all they want.
You can't win in the courts with these judges. And by the way, they put a polling station right next to every courtroom so that people like you can come in and say, oh, you're within 100 feet of a polling station. Just so happens there's a courtroom in here to protect the judge.
Not my choice. Not my choice. I don't make that
Believe
decision.
it, though. Don't insult our intelligence by saying, oh, you do want to do something with
I promise you,
voters.
they didn't ask my opinion. So here's the deal.
It's just logical
I've already
fallacy
asked
after
twice.
logical fallacy.
I've already asked twice.
Yeah.
If you refuse to leave,
Decline.
If you decline,
Okay.
which is the same thing as
It's
refuse.
not. According to
Potato,
you,
potato.
It's
okay?
not. If you're a lawyer, you
Hold
know
on.
that.
Are you going to let me talk or are you going to continue to interrupt me?
I'm just saying.
All rise, court is now in session of Crowley Municipal Court. Please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. They are not allowed in the courtroom. Good luck with that.
You can be seated. Anyone with a electronic device currently on will be held in contempt of court.
Darla, is your bond going to be able to catch that order?
That's not a proper way to address a judge. Josh, can you remove him from the court?
Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you nicely. Please, go ahead and step on out. Sir.
If I don't, are you going to...
Hey,
now, this isn't a
at this
challenge.
point, at
This
this
isn't a
point in
challenge.
time,
Will
hold
you,
on.
will you physically remove...
Finish your question.
Because if
At
you-
this point in time, can I answer now?
If you threaten me with violence, I will leave. But if you ask me, I won't.
Oh, they're going to threaten you with
Threat.
violence.
I'm telling you what I will do.
Oh,
okay?
so that is saying
I've
you
asked
will.
you. Now I'm going to tell you. You need to leave.
Is there anything?
If you decide not to leave,
Otherwise.
I then will make you.
Okay, that's all you got
Is
to say.
there?
Do you want your copy of the
Yeah, I do.
paperwork?
Yeah.
Please, go ahead. Do you want me to hold one of those for you to help record?
No,
I don't
that's
mind.
Hey, last question.
That's okay.
All right, come on.
And just for the record,
That's cool. No more records
it's with them.
the judge.
Not
Come
with
on.
you.
Oh yeah. Hey, just for the record, or just last one question. Is there anything you won't do for your master?
Because of violence. Because
Is
of
there anything you
violence,
won't
we're
do for your
leaving.
master?
After all,
Keep
he's got the
going.
guns.
Keep going.
It's a might makes right world.
Is it-
Hey, but they've got...
I really hope it didn't damage
We
that.
didn't do that on purpose.
It's not. It doesn't have to be on purpose.
Well, you shouldn't have put it so close to the door. It's a little bit scary.
Is it?
It's called paying attention to what you're doing.
Is that-
Actually, you're still within 100 feet of the polling place.
Then we still gotta go, right?
Hey, they brought in the experts. Hey, they brought in they brought in the experts. They brought 3 of them. Hey, is
We'll
that?
see the county council about this. And
Please do.
It's not even personal.
Oh yeah, I need a
Against the judges.
business
Well,
card.
that's
Business card. Business
I
card.
don't have one on me. My
Name tag, please.
You got a
Detective
badge number,
White,
right?
badge 312.
Name
What's your first name?
Detective White, badge
How
312.
bad your parents hate you to name you detective?
I know, man. It's crazy
That's a
like that,
title. What's
isn't
your
it?
first name?
Detective White, badge 312.
What's up, Morris?
We're against the judges ultimately.
Okay, I'm with you, man. And
Ranty
I've
Moore.
watched
You're not
your
with
show.
us.
Hey, James.
Look, and
How you
if
guys
you
doing,
want to,
man? We're not any kind of angry or anything like that.
they're not. They're not. They look. I've watched your show, and you can continue recording. Look,
Oh,
I've watched
sweet,
your show.
sweet, okay.
I've
need your
listened to it more than anything.
I'm kidding.
Okay, 'cause, a lot of yours, you'll leave a picture up, and you don't necessarily show yourself. You
Sometimes
talk
I do,
about it.
sometimes I don't.
Sometimes, but mostly it's the picture. I've listened.
Can you move your
And
hand real quick?
Trust me, I'm understanding
Detective Rose.
that, what it is that you're trying to do, and how you're
You got an ID
saying
on you?
against the judges. But understand that it's
Yeah,
not,
you got an ID on you?
I don't make legal determinations.
You got an ID on you?
It's not my legal determination.
Right here, you can see it.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not the prosecutor. I'm not the judge. You know what I'm saying? What I do is I take the book
Right.
that has the statutes, I read through it, and when it says that there's a violation, then I have a duty to go forward. You understand? That's what all officers will tell you.
I don't understand, but if you clarify for me, maybe I will.
What do you need clarified?
Okay, well, what I need to clarify to see, everybody in authority that we talk to,
Good.
they all say the same thing that you just said, which is, it's not my fault because of reason X. There's somebody else. Maybe it's a lawyer, maybe it's a judge. The judge will say if you don't like it, go to the legislators, run for office, or go vote somebody in power. But if you go ask them, the council people in power, it's like, well, I just write this stuff, I don't actually enforce it. It's this big loop-de-loop intentionally making it so that there's no actual individual that takes the blame. And that's why they invent fictional terms like the state of Texas, so that the state of Texas can be blamed, and so that the state of Texas can be a victim. Now, again, we're not angry. I hope you all don't get that from us.
I know you're not.
I'm not one of those dudes.
Well, hold on.
I'm not.
I
used to be.
I've watched some of his videos too, and when you listen to the profane language that he likes to blurt, which I don't believe I've used any profane language with you, and with us, you guys have not today.
No,
I know it's
that's not
normally
my
when he's
style.
off and Bow when you are upset, because I understand you've been through some things, and
It's rare.
whether we agree with it or not, I understand you've got some frustrations. I would suggest venting them in a more positive direction. But nobody has yelled at each other. Nobody has gotten upset. We're having a conversation because, again, at the end of the day, I've got to enforce what the law says. And it's not that the judge is telling me to, because before the judge came in and actually started court, which when you would have been in violation and the contempt of court, which again is not my determination, the election code that says you can't be within 100 feet of a polling place making video or audio recordings, that's what then gives me the authority to step in and say, okay, the state has decided. Now again, you say the state and they become the victim, but understand, the state incorporates anybody that is considered part of that system. And I know you shake your head and you're upset because you reference.
It's just you're so wrong and you don't know how you are.
Gentlemen,
it's not, look, I'm not trying to have some kind of ego battle where, oh, I get to be right and you get to be wrong on YouTube.
Fair enough.
But here's what it is. Your point is clearly understood by us. Okay, clearly, we get it. You have this duty and you have these claims and this is what you do. Okay, you're paid to do this. Your job required your paycheck, your family, your spouse or significant other, any kids.
Rather be a florist.
Pension, and then you would be one if it paid as well.
Very possible.
Well,
this job doesn't pay that well. I don't know what you've been told.
We're doing this for free because we like things called logic, a little small branch of philosophy called ethics. And we think those should matter. What shouldn't matter is, oh, I get paid for this, and so I'm going to do this. Look, we used to be military, we used to get paid to do stuff too. Okay? But the reason why we don't do that anymore is because we don't want to be paid to have to do what someone else tells us to do.
If you don't mind me asking.
Not long enough.
Okay. Because I spent 8 years in.
Yeah, that's cool. I got way out before they tried to make me ship men and equipment over. I didn't want to go to that to do that
See,
anyway.
my boots have actually touched all that sand. So I'm with you. I spent a lot of time over there.
I'm sure you did.
But
see, I get that how. So there's no way anything I'm going to say is going to convince you in the least. You're not going to go home and think about it. Maybe I should leave this job. I get that. But what we don't want is for you to be threatening other people with violence when they have done no such.
Did I threaten you?
Yes!
Hold on. Yes, you did. At what point in time did I make a threat?
You said, if you don't leave, I'm going to make you. If I said that to you, what would you do? Are you crazy? What would you do? If I said, if you don't get out of this courtroom right now, I will make you leave. What would you have done just then and there?
Well, it depends on how far you want to push the envelope. How dedicated are you?
So it's a grayscale. You threatened somebody with violence or you did?
I asked nicely multiple times.
I said no, and then you said, okay, if you don't, I'm going to make you.
Oh, no.
Because you got a walkie-talkie and all these dudes that'll do exactly what you said. No offense.
No, they won't.
That's how you win.
Because if I'm not justified, these guys aren't going to stand right there.
It doesn't matter your statute and your paycheck, your statute, my holy.
Actually, this guy would do anything.
Nah,
This guy right here would do anything.
There are preachers,
He'll listen to a little Walmart chick beat.
popes, and you got your holy books called statutes and codes.
Take it easy, James.
Symbols, your
You're good.
constitution, my constitution. It's over 200 years old. Written by elitist slave owners. It throws innocent people. You know how many people are in jail right now for like 3 grams of weed? Are you kidding? See, look how they go.
No,
They
they're
don't want
actually
any
opening the
piece
door
of
for the lady. No, they actually have other calls to attend to, and since I'm standing here, and I get to be the front runner and be on YouTube today, and that's okay. My day, I never know what it's going to entail, so I'm appreciative.
Look, I know that you do some legitimately good stuff for the community. I know cop enough
like to believe
about
so.
a cop's job to know and a witness.
We listen to enough scanners to know you guys do
Stuff
good.
that you do that makes me go, God damn, that's awesome. Okay, but it's unfortunate that they take that legitimate purpose.
Okay, man.
That legitimate purpose when legitimate security is needed to protect society. And they include all of these extortion scams, these non-violent victimless criminal charges. And all you do is, if you don't like it, they enter you into this little escalator of violence until you obey. It doesn't matter if you just get busted for a seatbelt ticket. Oh, I'm not going to pay it. Oh, I'm not going to show up. Oh, no problem. Now it's a criminal charge. Oh, now we're taking you to jail. You can get assaulted in there. You can get sick in there. You get a record in there. You can lose your license in there. That can affect your family and your relationships in there. Because they just keep on making it worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until people obey. So when somebody says, oh, I'm a grown man, I'm not going to obey a bunch of bullies and give them my lunch money at recess, this is what happens.
I like your equation. I don't think it's 100%
Because of
accurate,
statutes.
but I like where your mind is on that. That's good.
Because of reasons.
Here's the deal. At the end of the day,
Because of
we
reasons.
raise our voice at you.
Do you think that I care about that?
Well, but
Don't you think
when you talk about a threat, I mean, again,
The threat's on your hip.
I can lose this gun and I'm just the same person.
Hey, if you lose that gun and go in there as you think I would actually leave? You'd be crazy. You have to call a guy with a gun to come remove me from a private space. Okay? The only reason I'm even out here is because you got a gun.
Well, if that's what you find fear in, I'm sorry.
I'm not fearing. I'm securing my safety.
Well, gentlemen, think about this. Let's say that, because obviously this trend has been growing.
Oh,
It's
yes.
on your doorstep. Okay. Well then, it seems to reason that it would keep growing. And if it keeps growing one of these days, see, especially with the advances in technology that we have,
I know.
men like us are going to have the ability to say no. Then what? Then what? And it's an issue that you guys force because you're enforcing nonviolent, victimless, nonsensical, illogical, unethical criminal charges. Oh, by the way, everyone
to hurt him or
knows
not to hurt him at that
totally
point, right?
against what the
Right.
founding fathers, your precious
You
gods,
gotta obey your
wanted
master
to
at that
do.
point.
It's been twisted by the lawyers and the judge that you defended with your weapon against me not too long ago.
I pulled my gun. When?
By having it, it's a threat.
We're in Texas. You know how many people walk around and have guns? Come
They
on
are
now.
average
Come
people.
on now.
You are paid by the state.
Can they
That's a
pull their
totally
gun on you
different-
just the same?
But they won't because they're not the state. They
So I
don't go
didn't
around
come out
it.
either.
You're using a logical fallacy. I said you're
I'm
defending
using
judges.
logic.
Logical fallacy.
Ah.
You're defending judges and bar members in there, and they are the people who twisted the Constitution from the original into what we have today. And all I'm saying is, man, I'm telling you, and it's not going to be me, okay? But I'm telling you, it might be a robot, it might be a drone, it might be a human. But one day they're going to say no. And you're either going to have to quit or engage in that for pay, for them.
At the end
You know
of
what
the
they
day,
think of you?
we take it.
Saying something as so simple as that, it's astounding. I mean, look, I get it. I got you in a catch-22. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror and know, I enforce the state's will. But I get that. I was there. But I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to say it calmly.
You were an officer?
Yeah.
Or you were in the military?
I was an officer in the military, both.
Okay, so then that puts you at federal, not state. A little different.
The state is the state, according to, you know, if you go ethically back, it's all, whether you're in this country or not.
And
They
this is
don't even
where-
have states.
this
It's
is where
still the state.
You start talking about government and federal and state, and
No, I'm not
talk
talking
about
about that
hyphen
at all.
versus state,
I'm
which
not-
is where state can enforce or enact laws above and beyond to provide protection for citizens. I mean, we can go into the
I'm not
long
talking
debate.
about that at all.
But understand, at the end of the day, I do have other things to attend to because I will give you credit. You have acknowledged the fact that we do attend to other things that you have already said put more importance on our tasks and our abilities. Am I correct in that?
Well, it's not like all of you are out solving cold case files of only violent crimes with victims.
Actually, that's kind of what I do, and that's kind of what our division does.
Okay, but I said you guys, not you as the individual. See, you gotta.
So you lump us all
you gotta
together?
follow. You gotta follow what I'm saying without twisting it.
I'm
No,
not.
I said you guys, like you generally as cops, are not all out actually.
you're stereotyping.
All out actually chasing cold case files of actual violent crime.
I'm not talking about all
There's a
cops. I'm
whole
talking
bunch of
about
that
us.
that's just extortion for quotas and speeding tickets.
But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us.
I was, and you were talking about what I was talking about.
Yeah, but you
I
said
can't
that
wait
we
till
do
this
good
gets
things.
replayed, man. You're gonna be like, oh, you're going off in different directions. I take on lawyers, and to be honest, you're not as good as them.
Let me ask you a question.
Thank you for that compliment, because I don't want to be a lawyer.
Let me ask you a question. If, what did you say you guys usually do?
We investigate things.
Okay, so they brought all three of you guys out here for a camera?
Actually, we were on something else, but we appreciated the time. It gave us a break from the monotony of all the bad things we deal with. So, gentlemen, is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, man, you could let me back in there.
can't do that.
Film the courtroom. Oh, well then,
Sorry.
you can't do that.
No, I
Do you
can't.
know what bar members and people and the judges at the highest level, when they're in little man caves talking to each other, what they think about cops?
I'm not a lawyer, or a judge, or a bar
I'm just
member, so
saying,
probably not,
the
because
people
I wouldn't be in that man cave.
The people that you just offended think that you're just a lowly peon foot soldier. Who
You
doesn't
know,
have much
more
of a-
the citizens that were
man,
getting
you can't-
frustrated at you guys.
Come on, man, let me finish, man.
I apologize. Go ahead.
They think you're a low. That's their opinion, not mine. They think you're a lowly, low-level peon. If you were smart, you would have been a businessman or a barman. They use you. You're expendable. I mean, you must know. Here's the real thing on your side. I'm gonna say something on your side. Okay? Sure. It's like this. In the line of duty, when you're faced with that horrible decision, do I have to pull the trigger on somebody? Right?
Bad day.
Yeah, bad day. There's all kinds of regulations and rules and guidelines that they expect you to have in your mind when you make that critical decision in that moment to pull a trigger or not. Right? Okay. Now, sometimes, as we all know, people aren't perfect and life isn't perfect. Sometimes it doesn't go maybe as it should.
Very true.
Okay. And the state, because of public and political pressure, right, they have a will. And their will normally is obviously to
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry about that.
protect the police. But in the instances where public pressure is too great, then they'll throw the cop under the bus. So their will about whether or not they protect you is an arbitrary one based on the amount of public and political pressure they're facing. And they'll use the laws that you hold so precious and defend, like statutes and codes, to filter through a judge's will to determine, because the law is a flexible thing, oh, he was wrong, oh, he's not wrong. I mean, you've seen this. Cops are now going to prison for decades because they're actually getting charged with manslaughter they wouldn't do. Now, my issue isn't cops are killing people. I'm just saying the bar members who rule you, who are just up higher on the status level of your ladder, not mine.
So you're saying I don't have status? That's not.
No, you do on the ladder.
Okay.
But it's your ladder. It's your ladder, not mine. Okay, they think very little of you. And you recognize that a lawyer and a judge is much more powerful than you. You get on the stand, you get in trouble, you look to the judge, they help you out. That's how it goes. So,
No.
just man to man, isn't there ever part of you look forward to a point in your life where you're not another man's bitch?
Man, that's cold. Why would you use language like that?
Because
that's kind of offensive. Now, I can't be offended,
but
understand,
are.
if somebody else was out here, that kind of language would be offensive to them. Would you like somebody talking to your mom like that? Come on now, honestly.
We're five dudes.
I'm
There's
with
no
you,
mother around.
but have I cussed at you?
And I got a smile
Have
on my
I-
face.
I'm with you, but have I used
I
any
used to
profane
like
language?
people use bitch casually all the time.
I'm with you,
I'm not calling you a
understand,
bitch.
look, we've got a gentleman walking through here. That may hurt his sensibility. Is that really fair to him?
I don't really give too much consideration to those people who are easily offended.
you- but-
and in this day and age, neither should
But they
any of
have
us.
the right to be offended, right?
And
Just
they-
like
but
you
I
would
don't
have the right to be offended.
censored because
but,
they're offended.
but at the end of the day, you say, well, it's just a judge, it's just a lawyer. But think about all the people that I asked nicely to silence down. You can go in with him.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
See, and again, you've got another gentleman that says he's uncomfortable with what you're doing. And all the people that were in there that hold on, let
I'm
me
listening.
finish.
I'm listening.
That I asked nicely to allow us to continue on our conversation because I had the deep down belief that at the end of the day, as a bunch of grown adult guys, as you have said, even if there were females involved, that we could come to the reasonable expectation.
Can you guys take this outside in 100
See?
feet? It's discouraging my voters.
See?
Your voters?
Good.
Again.
Voters are nothing but
So-
status. You don't let convicted felons.
Now we've got another complaint.
Your voters?
Gentlemen, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. They've asked that you stay 100 feet, more than 100
Well,
feet
they
away.
said we move this.
Yeah, but I've got other things to do.
So if I put down my cameras, I can go back in there and put them away and turn them off.
At that point in time, one, we know that you guys are here to record, and two, if I'm not mistaken,
turn them all off.
it was you that snuck one in last week, if I'm not mistaken. Because again, I don't
What
go
if
into
you're
a situation
mistaken?
without.
What if you're mistaken?
If I am, and I apologize.
Okay, well, it's a public place.
But it
And
says
if I
no
put all this
electronics.
stuff away,
They're going to
then
ask that you have no
everybody
electronics
has a
on
cell
you.
phone in their pocket, sir. And you know
Again,
it. Everyone's
That's
got
the
a cell
deal,
phone.
gentlemen. More than 100 feet away.
So can I turn it off and then come in?
I can't give you that authorization. It's up to the judge.
Authorization?
Yeah, I can't, because if I tell you can do it, and then that's violating what the judge said, like you already said, who's going to win that?
It's the statute, but now it's what the judge says.
Well, the
is
judge
what I
said
can
contempt
violate.
of court. The other one is right
She
there.
interprets
I'm not going to
law.
argue
Are you-
anymore.
Are you suggesting she makes law, or does she interpret?
I'm not going to argue with you anymore. We're not
Because
going to have this
you
debate
can't
anymore.
make that debate make
Again,
sense.
more than 100 feet. Gentlemen, we've asked you nicely.
So are you now
One,
gonna threaten me
two,
with violence
three,
unless I move
more
100 feet
times.
away this
It's
way?
got to be more than 100 feet.
Or else what?
Again, I've asked you nicely.
Okay, so we'll go right here. Now what? Am I still
Make
under
sure
threat?
that you're over that 100
Because if we
feet.
stop talking, she's not going to care. And don't you think this is hilarious that this threat got instigated by a woman who voices a little
Never did I
preference?
threaten anything.
Are you
Nobody
kidding
threatened
me?
anything.
Your gun is the beck and call of a woman's preference.
Okay.
It is.
Is there anything
You
else we
sit
can
there
help you
saying,
gentlemen
"Oh,
with?
We shouldn't offend.
Anything else I can help you with?
We shouldn't offend.
Anything else
We
I can help you
In
with?
case it's offensive.
Anything else
What's
I can
going
help
on
you
in
with?
there is offensive.
I've asked you nicely.
throw people in
I've
jail
asked you
for
there.
nonviolent
Gentlemen,
crimes.
take care. Please drink water. It is hot outside. Don't get
Oh,
dehydrated.
I'm glad you're concerned for our safety, man.
Called in a bunch of specialists. Called in a bunch of goons in Under Armour. Hey, James and them didn't want anything to do with it.
Now I'm gonna go to the county council.
Never asked
give
for
them all
help.
that. Then I'm gonna
Go
put
back.
That
What's up,
lawyer-
guys? Sorry about the not catching up with the chats. That was some interesting interaction. We have a full-blown municipal that is full of sheeps. We did have quite a few supporters in there. We had a couple kids that were like, "Yeah, man, this is bullshit." You know what I mean? But for the most part, you know, we had quite a few sheeple in there that were lurking, not wanting to do the thing. Blue ISIS is on the prowl, and
Blue ISIS.
it is what it is. But that was an interesting ordeal.
See, now if we're only 2. If we're 12, that courtroom gets shut down.
Oh yeah. I wish James and Patrick and some of those guys were
You
here.
gotta come with numbers, and then all of a sudden,
Dusty was here. Hey, that's offensive. You're infringing on my freedom, flicking me off like that. What's your problem? Hit the like button, Gunner. Oh shit. Oh yeah. All right. So guys, we're gonna lurk here for a little bit. I gotta get my drink. Bear with me. Hey, how are y'all?
What a joke.
But yeah, guys, that was interesting. If anything,
She's such a coward. You know, to only start court once all the cops are there.
Yeah.
We're gonna start court so
Hey.
that I can give the appearance of once I say contempt of court. Oh, then they have to start moving.
she said, that's not how you, what'd she say? That's not how you address a judge. I was like, bitch.
You're right. You normally go like this. That would be more correct.
Hey, she didn't like it when we didn't stand, huh?
I know.
Yeah. She didn't like it at all.
Joke.
But,
That is the white.
I'm with
knight
EA. I'm with Ethical Anarchism Articulated.
For real, dude. That guy. He's hiding duty and protection and public service in nothing but being a huge cuck.
Oh, yeah.
And a white knight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Women come in here. Oh, would you mind moving?
Yeah.
It's disturbing my voters.
Yeah.
Oh, now you got to go away 100 feet, otherwise I'm going to threaten you with more violence.
Like, bitch.
I told him.
Yeah.
Man, he's not going to take this seriously. But Val, one day it's going to be taken very seriously.
Oh, when that pill sinks in,
Dude.
he's gonna be crying in the middle of the night.
We're gonna be able to say no.
He's gonna be crying in the middle of the night. Oh shit, that was funny.
I'm gonna post his name, I'm gonna post his address, I'm gonna post whatever I want about that guy. Because he just, oh yeah, I'm a big guy, I can
Yeah.
threaten you with violence and everything. It's like, dude,
He goes, what violence? It's Texas. Dumbass.
we're out here doing
But my cuckery, says one of those guys. Black Label, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. John Jonah, welcome to the stream. Aloha to you, sir. Rika says, ethics instead and ethical. Yeah, I'm with ethical anarchism.
So, did you know that I didn't know they would ever do this. But what they've done is they've stuck polling centers
Yeah.
right next to courthouses.
Yep.
And then used the protective 100 feet around the polling center to protect the judge.
Oh, they'll do anything.
Like,
They'll do anything to protect that
What a
rope. They'll do anything to
joke.
protect their way of life and how they make money. I mean, they will stop at nothing, including slaughtering you and your family.
my codes.
Yeah, they would do nothing.
Dude, that's,
Yeah, it's crazy.
he's just such a coward. He's just such a fucking coward. It's just, oh, my paycheck, my way of life, my career, my pension. He knows exactly what we're talking about. Those other two cops there, they're young enough, you know, they're not invested. They look like if they were ever in the military, they were fresh out after only 4 years. They're super young. Like, they didn't say a thing.
Oh yeah, they know better.
What's going on.
They know better.
Exactly what's going on.
Brian says, Clash with Bao, get his phone number. News Now Footwear says ethics instead. And Rika says, oh my fucking god, pay attention to the chat. My bad. Not bow to chatters. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I wish I was a better reader today, but Darla Peavy didn't like the way I addressed her. She said she threatened contempt, and I asked her, is her bond gonna be able to cash that order? And she didn't like that shit too much at all. She knows damn well she ain't bonded. Hey, we need to figure out what her bond's like. You guys need to look into Darla Peavy.
Dude, there's some real deal people who know how to do that paper terrorism game.
Yeah, we need to.
File things against
Hey,
judges like
Pai Pai, she's not even a judge. She's a local attorney that practices family law, and they bring her in every Tuesday to wear the robe and make people pay money.
She's in teenager court. She's not.
Yeah, she's in they're in there prosecuting 14-year-olds and shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
For curfew violations and joyrides.
Sub did says, I would FOIA any of the cameras at that building if they were not turned off during the polling. That is grounds for a lawsuit.
Good point. No, it's selective prosecution.
Oh yeah, it is selective
He
prosecution.
wouldn't even let me go back in the building, even though I turn off all my cameras saying, oh, you've already made your will. No, everyone else has got a camera. I'm not going to argue with you guys. They just can't win any kind of match when it comes to logic or ethics.
DJL says Darla Peavy bar card number 005-94438. Yeah, she. If you guys need some family law, she works in Crowley, Texas. You can get consultation on any day except for Tuesdays because she's at City Hall pretending to be a judge.
So, you know, he did mention, though, I've never had a police officer mention that before. It's like, he knew me. You know, he knew me. He's
Oh,
like,
I didn't know him.
he
Came up and addressed me as Bao. That's the only reason I even you know.
That cop has gone by us twice now, and if he goes back a third time, he's trying to figure out where we're going.
Yeah. Oh, he knows. They know where I'm at. They know better. I wish they would come near me. They fucking know better. I'll be in court, and I'll camera that shit, and I'll make a fool out of fucking Darla Peavy. I dare you motherfuckers. I know you motherfuckers are watching. I dare you motherfuckers. I dare you motherfuckers. Yeah. I'll deal with Darla Peavy my fucking self.
These people are just goofy. We're gonna win by election.
Isn't impersonating a judge a felony? Yeah, that's what they do.
Holy crap.
Well,
see, the statute is there. Well, do you want to come see the machine? Come see the machine.
Yeah,
That'll prove it.
Hey, the evidence is the machine. The evidence of jurisdiction is the machine. It's the polling machine.
Look, lady, we think. We don't feel primarily. Based on thinking, we're not just gonna believe your feely-fees, your opinions.
Yeah. So we got a small case of a Captain Sabaho syndrome. Deadly Archie says Crowley is a huge. I used to work for them. Didn't know that there was a town named after him. What? They need to enforce laws, not policy. Yeah, I agree.
So what you just saw though was judges don't just interpret laws; they make them.
Oh yeah, they make them up.
And they make
They make
say,
them up.
Oh, yeah,
They make them up.
I'm going to hold you in contempt of court, and these bribed people with guns are going to obey my will.
Oh yeah.
That's all it is.
Yep.
It's just costumes and gangbangers. But I'm telling you, if we had 12 people in there, we'd have shut that thing down.
Yeah, I really wish at some point this might be a decent town to mass audit, guys.
Because they can't arrest more people than they've got cops on the scene.
Yeah.
You think back at any big, where people show up in mass and they just go, oh, we're just not even going to deal with them at all. There's always way more people than cops. You just get 2 people per cop, you win. She runs, her power means nothing, her threats of contempt don't mean shit, and the whole courtroom is filled up with people who aren't going to be moved. So that whole place of business will just get shut down.
The Gaming Noob says, who's the sexy beast you're conversing with? I'm actually not conversing. We're just out here kind of just sitting down, lurking, just kind of, you know, analyzing the craziness that just happened. I didn't really anticipate that. I anticipate we're going to get, you know, asked to leave.
Yeah, I see it. Man, I want to say this on our stream too. I mentioned this to you on the way over there. I said, because I don't know what I want to give away, but because I'm fairly new here and I started new employment here, I couldn't get arrested today. But that will not always be the case. Inside of like 2 to 4 weeks, that won't be the case because they'll totally get it. I'm cool with my job and everything.
Yeah, we'll bankrupt the city if they do any funny shit like this.
But I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
if I was totally free to do that, that might have been one of those moments where I picked. It's like, all right, well, I'm not going, so I'm going to sit down, put my hands behind my back.
Oh, they don't want to.
Go ahead and
I looked into their eyes. They want nothing to do with arrest. They want nothing to do.
Okay, then they're going to take me to jail.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out within 72
Yeah,
hours.
they want nothing to do with the
I'm
arrest.
going to be in an arraignment tearing a judge's asshole apart with challenges to jurisdiction. The prosecution's not going to be able to convince a jury, even if they steamroll me all the way through there.
It doesn't even look like they have a prosecutor. They got a lawyer.
Right.
The cop's probably going to be the prosecutor in this
Right.
city.
And meanwhile, we start our paper terrorism trail and then file suits against their risk management and whatnot. It gets way more expensive for them.
Well, here's the
than they
thing:
can handle.
these guys can't even afford an attorney. They don't even have a city attorney. They have to hire one in case they have to deal with legal issues. Yeah. So just like they hire a judge, they'll hire an attorney by the hour to come in and help them with their legal issues. So they got a bunch of illiterate employees working at City Hall and a bunch of illiterate quote-unquote cops, with the exception of one. And I'm not going to mention his name, but Crowley's got one decent individual that works with a badge, and he's actually a friend of mine. So it's not like I'm against cop guys. I'm not against cops at all. I mean, if you guys think I'm against cops, I am not. I've said it from day one. If you guys just go and watch some of my old content, it is not about the cops. The biggest issue is the fucking sheeple. It's the fucking sheeple
Yeah, I blame
that
them
puts
all.
us in the fucking situation that this is in, or that the status quo that we're in now.
I mean,
So
if even half the people in that courtroom would have stood up and supported us, it wouldn't have gone down like that.
yeah, I mean, and we did have some support in that courtroom, but the older generation was fucking stupid. We had some ignorant ass people in there, and then there was this fine ass chick in there who opened her mouth and didn't become that fine, and then like was being an ugly
Be
bitch.
careful, dude. I want to make sure she was over 18. at
Yeah,
least.
and then by the end of it, she was like, "Oh, okay, I'll check you guys out. I'll check it out." So
The inconvenience was being held up for work a little bit.
right, and sometimes is like people would open their mouth just like that girl did, not knowing what the fuck she said, just open her mouth just to be a mouth opening bitch. And then, once she figured it all out, she pretty much swallowed her words. She was like, "Oh, okay, I'll check you guys out, blah, blah, blah," and then all of a sudden we made sense. But fucking 2 minutes ago we didn't.
We started making
So,
a lot of sense to her.
Whatever, you know what I mean? That's the problem I have is the sheeple.
Who were the people that were speaking up against us? They were all over 60.
Uh-huh.
And who was watching us and going like pie-eyed, "Oh, what the heck's going on? What's all this about?"
The younger
All the
generation.
defendants.
Yeah, the younger
Defendants.
generation.
Like these days are numbered. I love this shit because it's just laughing. They have to take it all seriously. They get butthurt. Their jobs, they get put online and everything.
And Mrs. Sturry, we're not against old people. We were just pointing out the demographics of the sheeple. Like all I wanted to point out was, the sheeple is dying out.
Yeah, there's plenty of older people who
Yeah.
know our stuff.
But dude, the majority of I bet you if I pull age demographics, it's the mature audience that's actually online supporting this stuff. The kids don't care. The kids are out there playing the games and watching fun videos, watching cat videos and stuff. This movement is, about the mature generation.
And it mostly hits whoever feels the pain.
Yeah. Or whoever's been stung. You know what I mean? Like if you've been stung, it sticks with you. So.
But unless you want to make your living as a cop, then, dude, you'll never feel it. Those poor bastards. I wouldn't give any amount of money to trade place and just be an indoctrinated cop. Just give me enough.
Well, guys, we're about to hit the hour mark. I'm about to shut the stream down. I want to thank you, everyone. At some point, we had over 200 people watching the stream.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, for a shitty channel like mine's,
That's dope.
that is a massive amount of people watching. So I just want to thank everyone that's been in the stream. It's been a true honor to be able to just provide the content and actually have people come and watch this stuff. So
It's so fast, pal. It's growing so fast.
yeah, thank you so much, you guys. Like I said, it was an honor for me to have you guys with me, and it's a very, very comforting feeling to know that every time I get into a quote-unquote dangerous situation, there's at least 150 people watching to make sure I'm okay. So,
and as you can see, neither of us even got touched. So what real harm came upon us? What consequence came? Nothing. We got a good bunch of good laughs out of it.
yeah, we did. We get some good jokes out of it.
So there's no harm, no foul to us. So why not do it? I mean, if you've got any inclination to do it whatsoever, gosh, is it that hard? No.
Yeah. All right.
Not hard.
Once again, guys, thank you, everyone.